I grew up in St. Bernard Parish. I was born in 1963. Lived on Mealy Street in Araby. I think I was 4 when we moved to Dotreve Drive, 2805 Dotreve Drive. That's where I grew up. And went to all public schools. I walked to school at Lacoste, and then I went to Trist Middle School and graduated from Shaman High School in 1981. And went to school at McInnis in 1985 and a basketball scholarship. So I was fortunate enough to have my education paid for. I came back home and started working for a regional CPA firm, and worked in a few places. And you know, at a certain point in my life, I just figured that I wanted to coach basketball and teach. So about 17 years ago, I went to go teach, started teaching and coaching in Shaman High School, and I was there ever since, until I got elected parish president. I was always inclined to play a part in politics. I had some friends that ran for office that I helped. Never really thought that I would want to be an elected official. I ran for office as a Justice of the Peace back in 1996. As a young man, I figured, I lived in my community, I ought to be able to make a change in my community, keep it safe, because we're a very safe community. At the end of that term, my kids were teenagers, and it just didn't fit that lifestyle of being a Justice of the Peace. So how did I become a council member? I don't know, a good friend of mine, Jimmy Pullman, was running for sheriff, and I was looking at the qualifying candidates for council member at large in the Eastern District. At that time, I lived in Miro, and I said, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna run parish-wide the same way he's running, and maybe I could help him in some kind of way. And I wound up winning. When
we were kids, all he would do was watch the council meetings and different things. And he'd get angry, he'd get, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Now he's able to be in the chambers, being able to make the difference and make the change that he got so mad about when, before, earlier in life, he couldn't make that change watching the TV and seeing the meetings go on and stuff like that. When my children talk about my frustrations and looking at council meetings of the past when I was sitting around, and it wasn't necessarily what was happening in St. Bernard. It was sometimes the cliquish atmosphere that our politics was, the 6-5 votes. It wasn't a team approach, I should say. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring to that, a professional, a respectful team approach to our parish, and it's working. Not only does my administration get along with the council, every single request, we make sure that we honor that request and make sure that it happens, because it's coming from the governing body. We sit in the well at council meetings for a reason. We look up to the public, and that's who represents the public, and I respect that. And so I think our council members understand that. They know that their leadership is something that we look to and make sure that we govern in that way. We're all on the same page for the first time in a long time. And the longer we can keep that going, the better it exponentially going to be better for St. Bernard Parish in the future. When we came into office, the first thing we wanted to do was to change the perception of St. Bernard, change the perception of the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. We wanted to get the word out. We've been the best kept secret in the metropolitan area forever. We can't be the best kept secret anymore. We need to get the word out. We're good, God-fearing, hard-working people in St. Bernard Parish. So we wanted to make sure, and especially coming in after 4 years of negative publicity, we wanted to change that narrative, and it's working. Our governor attended the State of the Parish address in St. Bernard Parish. No other parish was attended by the governor for their State of the Parish. He came to St. Bernard Parish, and there's a reason for that. We got an appointment to the CPRA board, and that was my appointment. Appointment to the Highway Safety Commission, our sheriff. Appointment to the Bessie board, and that's very important. Doris Voce, our superintendent. So we are respected statewide. So I think I'm most proud of changing the perception in the metropolitan region of who we are.
So we do have some goals as far as where we want to bring St. Bernard. We want more amenities. We want to bring in retail, right? So we are meeting with retail, large developers and retailers as much as we can. So we're continuing to do that to make sure that economic development in St. Bernard Parish is one that is positive as far as quality of life and moving forward, and one that our citizens want, and we're going after that every day. So, but I do want to say this, that whatever we do in St. Bernard Parish has to be cohesive to where we were 30 years ago and why St. Bernard is the place it is. And we don't want to change it. And the voice and the will of the people of St. Bernard Parish is what's going to ring true to me when making those type of decisions. What to love about St. Bernard is that we're closest to one of the most exciting cities in the world. And then right on the other side of us is one of the most tranquil sportsman's paradise in the world too. So we have the best of both worlds. And I don't know if we realize how fortunate we are, really, to be honest with you. But I don't know, being close to family, being close to friends is something that, I guess that's what you gotta love about being home.
My dad, and we always say this, there's two things that he loves. His family first and his community second. Like, if he ever talks about his parish, y'all see, like, he gets very emotional because he really, truly cares about this community more than anything.
It's an extension of my family, St. Bernard, right? So it's all one for me. And I don't really like, the attention. And I guess that's kind of, I don't want all of the attention. I want it to be on St. Bernard. That's all I want to do, is be a conduit to that, to what our commercial fishermen are doing every day, to what our people who invest their time and money into developments, residential developments that make our parish run, and the type of people we have. And it's just so humbling, and I answer in a positive way for them. And I just wonder sometimes, if I'm getting credit, and why shouldn't these other people be getting all of that credit? Is it, some politician wants to get reelected? And that's one of the first things we talked about when we came into office, is that we're not going to work every day to get reelected. We're just going to work every day to move our parish forward.
My dad is going to be the same person from when we were little to the day he dies. He's never going to change. And I think people see that, and I think they like that they have a real parish president and not somebody who's going to be one way and not another way.
We got out of college, and I married my high school sweetheart, Lori Montalbano from Araby. And we've been together since we were freshmen and sophomores in high school. We started our family early. Mallory, our oldest, was born in 1985. Vicky was born in 87, and Carly was born in 92. And we have 6 grandchildren now, ranging from 10 to a couple of months now. That keeps us so busy. I don't know how we have time for anything else. Really, so that's kind of who we are. We all live in St. Bernard. We are invested 100% in our community. How else can we be, right? And we're trying to be as normal as possible with this huge responsibility that we have in the position that we hold. But we just want to keep plugging away, and hopefully in the end we will have done something positive.